As part of the campaign to intimidate those who criticize the government's actions, police operations in 19 provinces have targeted former police chiefs Ercan Taştekin and Anadolu Atayün and a number of other police officers and businesspeople. Former Bingöl Police Chief Taştekin, who recently resigned in protest of the government's reassignment of thousands of police officers, was among those detained in Ankara. After being interrogated by the prosecutor conducting the operation, Taştekin was released. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of Atayün, a former police chief and head of the Anti-Smuggling and Organized Crime Bureau. Speaking to Bugün TV's news program on Friday after he learned about the warrant, Atayün said that he would turn himself into the police that same day, accompanied by his lawyers. An executive of Okyanus Group, the business at the center of the investigation, was the target of anti-corruption operations carried out by teams led by Atayün and Taştekin. A total of 234 people involved in dealings with Okyanus were detained on charges of forming a criminal organization, forgery, tender rigging, bribery, and violating the confidentiality of the investigation, as the criminal probe expanded. The holding's CEO, Nusret Aygun, was convicted on 73 separate charges and sentenced to more than 180 years in jail, while another high-profile suspect in the case, the former rector of Selçuk University in Konya, was sentenced to 5 years in prison. A total of 114 other suspects were also convicted, while 117 people were acquitted. Claiming that the current accusations against him are linked to the investigations into Okyanus Group, Atayün said, "Our operation was conducted in 2004 and after a court issued a ruling that found the company guilty of engaging in corruption and the other offenses in question, the Supreme Court of Appeals approved the local court's verdict. This recent operation was started over these convicts' criminal complaint against me. Their complaint was taken seriously and an operation was launched against me and other police officers who took part in the operation because thieves show sympathy for other thieves." Atayün was referring to the December 2013 corruption scandal that implicated high-ranking government officials. Atayün also denied the claim that he has links to the Gülen movement and that he was appointed in order to carry out certain operations within the police department, as Okyanus Group claimed. "Hanfiyavk appointed me, not anyone else," Atayün said, referring to the former police chief who was convicted on charges of links with an outlawed left-wing group. While being detained, Taştekin posted several tweets on his Twitter account. "I am being detained for telling the truth, most likely. No problem at all," he wrote. In his another tweet, Taştekin said, those in charge of the investigation will defame me and others with slander. I know what I did and didn't do." After being released, Taştekin made a statement to journalists in which he said that the operation had collapsed. "Those who have been involved in corruption, malpractice, and other offenses in the past have now resorted to a new method to evade conviction by making accusations against the police chiefs and officers who took part in the operations against them. This trend has recently turned into a systematic practice," he said. As part of the same investigation, a lawyer and his secretary in Konya were detained last Monday at Konya Airport as they were about to travel to the United States. The lawyer is charged with being a member of a terrorist organization, forgery, and malpractice. Scores of police officers and police chiefs have been detained since a corruption scandal erupted on December 17, 2013, implicating then ministers and people in the inner circle of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who was prime minister at the time. Erdogan denied the claims of corruption and described the scandal as a plot against his government by foreign powers and the Gülen movement, which Erdogan has accused of setting up a parallel state within the state. Pro-government media frequently refer to the operations against the police as anti-parallel structure operations. Thousands of police officials and officers as well as judges and prosecutors were reassigned or removed in the aftermath of the December 17, 2013 scandal.